We don't even have any music. We're not in the car.
Listen how quiet it is.
Oh, listen to that. That's the sound of not being on the road.
You can tell by the very, very intense sunshine here.
Yes.
And the single palm tree behind us that we are in the Southwest. We are in Phoenix, Arizona right now, and it is really nice.
We're sitting by a pool, but we can't really show it to you because the lighting's horrible.
It's really cold.
Just
anyway.
put your foot in it. Just splash around.
No.
Oh, it's pretty cold.
It's
actually.
cold. But it's beautiful here because our friend has a wonderful home she's sharing with us, and we took a long bath last night, and it was covered in rose petals and filled with essential oils, and I felt like a new person.
It's very rejuvenating. So shout out to Leela
Thanks,
Sullivan.
Leela.
Thank you. What do you want to talk about today?
So today I want to talk about fear, and I was thinking about fear because last night I was a little bit scared on the highway down from Flagstaff into the city.
And why?
Well,
Because who was driving?
Reid was driving. But it's not that you were driving poorly, it's that you kept the cruise control on around the curves, and that felt out of control even though you weren't out of control. And that's the theme today, feeling out of control when you're not out of control.
Because your life might be on cruise control.
So this past year, I dealt with fear a lot because I was launching my book. So particularly in September, I was terrified that I was like choosing the wrong path, and I did everything wrong, and it was horrible. And you've dealt with a lot of fear, and I thought it would be interesting to figure out if you know how I deal with fear best, and I know how you deal with fear best.
Yes, you deal with fear best by taking it out on me.
Stop it.
It was just a joke. It's totally
I
a
can
joke.
see you.
Oh, shoot. Man, this isn't working. You deal with fear. I mean, you get tense, and then you're good with it, though, because you speak up usually at some point.
I share with you that I'm scared.
Yeah, your turnaround time is good. It's not like for 3 weeks you're petrified and your hair is falling out or something like that. Usually speak up, and then when you let me know that you're telling me about your fear, what you're feeling, and then not that it's somehow when you can preface it that what you're sharing isn't because of me.
Or something that you need to fix.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And you do that. Or I'm in a place usually where I can hear you doing that, because sometimes you do it and I don't hear you, and I still make it all about me, which sets us back a little bit. But you're pretty responsible in your communications, or at least you do it in ways that actually get through all of my weirdness so I can hear what you're saying.
And what do I do to get through it? Does the sharing just help, or do you think
Usually the sharing helps for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what you do to actually get through it.
I think I just keep on doing whatever I want to do and hope that the fear fades away. I mean,
Yeah.
I launched my book. I wasn't going to not launch my book.
Yeah.
I was just terrified I was going to fail and everybody would hate me. I guess I still am a little
And
bit afraid.
and now you've succeeded and everyone hates you.
Stop. I'd rather be hated for being successful than hated for being a terrible author.
Also, I think I'm fairly well trained to not rush in and try to fix something for you. On a good day, I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I usually just kind of ask you for what kind of support you need, if you're aware of any, and then I just let you do your thing.
Yeah, usually when I'm afraid I don't have any ideas, and so I'm like, I don't know, damn it, stop asking me.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, I like to watch you give yourself pep talks. And sometimes I don't think you even think you're doing it, but then I'll ask you a question and you'll be like, well, I'm doing really well at this, la la la. And you pep talk yourself, which I think is really endearing and adorable. What else do you do? Well, you also, when you coach people around it, you tell people to figure out what the worst case scenario would be, like the real worst case scenario, like not just like, oh, he's going to dump me, but like, well, then my house catches on fire, and then everyone I love dies in a nuclear blast, and then I'm all alone, it's the zombie apocalypse, and I don't have any ammo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, go that far.
Yeah.
And it's actually really fun because as a fiction writer, that's actually a really useful game to play, the worst case scenario game. But it's also really nice because it does kind of help. It helps mitigate fears in a better way. It helps realize that, in that silly way, like, it can always get worse. It really can. And most of the time, I'm afraid of being successful. I'm afraid of, like, launching a book, not like I'm dying of cancer kind of thing.
Yeah.
It makes me feel, it puts things into perspective. It makes me realize that the fear is coming from playing a bigger game than I'm used to.
Yeah, and I mean, I've kind of recalibrated myself to walk towards my fears. So I usually, on a semi-regular basis, will ask myself, what am I scared of? or create like a fear list, like what I'm afraid might happen or what I'm afraid of doing, and then that becomes my to-do list.
Wow.
Yeah, and then if you start like every day, and this is something I coach people on, every day like try to check off one little box on your fear list.
What's the most recent one you did?
I haven't done a fear list in a while. Well, the other thing is you just have to get used to the fact that you're basically going to live most of your life with this low-grade sense of terror, which I actually think is kind of the feeling of being alive. Your mileage may vary on that, but it's worked really well for me to keep moving forward and walking towards what I'm afraid of as a means of creating growth and change in my life, and it's worked out pretty well. And you, like asking you to date me and eventually move in together and stuff like that. Those were all things I was afraid of.
I was afraid of my identity changing by falling in love with a man. I was scared.
Yeah, and see, everyone seems to be okay with that.
Because my friends think you're awesome. And my friends think that I'm awesome too. And I haven't stopped sleeping with any of them, so I think that helps.
Okay,
anyway.
we've hit the 6-minute mark, so let's wrap that up.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, we're in Arizona, Phoenix, by the way.
I said that already.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye. It's the recording.
Stop.
Press
Stop.
and hold it.